3 foods seniors must avoid to boost leg strength and prevent falls. Why some foods quietly weaken seniors' legs. Did you know that 1 in 3 adults over 65 falls yearly due to weak legs? For many, that weakness builds slowly, fueled by subtle diet habits. Certain everyday foods, even ones that seem harmless, can quietly make legs feel heavier, slower, and less steady. This happens more than people think. Strong legs are the foundation of independence, whether playing with grandkids or walking to the store. Keeping legs strong isn't just about fitness as we grow older, especially past 55. It's about maintaining the freedom to move, stand tall, and stay active daily. Many seniors look for solutions in supplements or exercise routines, but what you remove from your plate can unlock more energy and mobility than expected. This guide was created to spotlight 3 common foods to avoid if you want to walk farther, reduce the risk of falls, and naturally strengthen your legs. No strict diets, no complicated plans. Just wise, science-backed choices that start in your kitchen. Food number 1, sugary drinks. The sweet trap that weakens your legs. Imagine taking a walk on a warm afternoon. You feel a little tired, maybe slightly dehydrated, and you reach for a cold soda, a fruit juice box, or even a sweetened iced tea. It feels refreshing, momentarily. But many people don't realize that this simple act, repeated over time, could quietly sabotage their leg strength, mobility, and energy. Sugary drinks are among the most commonly consumed items in the senior diet, not necessarily out of indulgence, but out of habit. They're easy to grab, widely available, and often marketed as energizing or healthy. But beneath the surface, these drinks can surprisingly damage aging muscles. Let's start with the numbers. 1 standard 12-ounce can of soda contains about 39 grams of sugar, equivalent to roughly 10 teaspoons. Once consumed, that sugar is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream, causing blood sugar to spike. The body responds by releasing insulin to stabilize those levels, but when repeated daily, this cycle contributes to low-grade inflammation. And that's where the real problem begins. Chronic inflammation has been strongly linked to reduced muscle recovery and function, especially in older adults. According to research published in the Journal of Gerontology, seniors with higher markers of inflammation tend to lose muscle mass and strength significantly faster. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about making the muscles you rely on for walking, climbing stairs, and balancing weaker, slower to heal, and more prone to cramping or fatigue. But the harm doesn't stop at inflammation. Sugary drinks offer virtually no nutritional benefit. They contain 0 protein, no fiber, and lack the key vitamins and minerals, like magnesium and potassium, your leg muscles depend on. Meanwhile, excess sugar often gets stored as fat, and in many cases, this fat accumulates around the belly and joints, particularly the knees and ankles. That extra weight puts more pressure on your legs, increasing the strain during everyday activities. For seniors already experiencing muscle loss, this combination can lead to a faster decline and a greater risk of falling. One more thing worth noting. Many fruit juices, even those labeled 100% juice, can be nearly as sugary as soda. While the source may seem healthier, the sugar content hits the bloodstream similarly. Worse still, juices often lack the fiber that whole fruits contain, which would otherwise help slow sugar absorption and reduce the metabolic shock to your system. So what can be done? The good news is that replacing sugary drinks is easier than you might think, and the benefits are felt quickly. A simple switch to plain water with a squeeze of lemon or a slice of cucumber for flavor can hydrate your muscles, reduce inflammation, and support every movement you make. Herbal teas like chamomile, mint, or ginger are caffeine-free, soothing to the stomach, and can be enjoyed hot or cold without sugar. According to small-scale studies, some seniors also enjoy adding a splash of apple cider vinegar to water, a practice that may help stabilize blood sugar when taken before meals. To make it a habit, keep a water bottle by your bedside, one near your favorite chair, and another in the kitchen. Drink a full glass when you wake up, before meals, and after any physical activity. This regular hydration pattern keeps leg muscles supple, flushes out toxins that may contribute to soreness, and restores energy more effectively than any can of soda ever could. Removing sugary drinks from your routine isn't about giving up joy. It's about restoring the energy and stability your legs need to keep you moving confidently. The results often speak for themselves: less heaviness in the legs, fewer nighttime cramps, and a greater readiness to walk around the block. Food number 2, processed foods, hidden enemies of leg strength. You're not alone if you've ever relied on sausages, bacon, deli meats, or frozen meals for a quick lunch or dinner. For many seniors, processed foods are a convenient solution to a tiring day, a limited appetite, or a reduced ability to stand and cook for long periods. They're pre-cooked, taste familiar, and feel satisfying. But beneath their convenience lies a quiet danger, one that can slowly rob your legs of their strength and your body's ability to stay mobile. Processed foods often contain ingredients that work against the body's natural muscle maintenance systems. These foods are typically high in sodium, saturated fats, preservatives, and chemical additives, all of which, over time, contribute to inflammation, joint stress, and sluggish recovery after physical activity. For seniors already experiencing age-related muscle decline, this can accelerate weakness, instability, and risk of falling. Let's start with salt. One slice of deli ham can contain up to 500 milligrams of sodium, about a quarter of the recommended intake. When consumed frequently, this sodium level causes the body to retain water, leading to swelling in the legs and ankles. More tissue water puts pressure on the joints, reducing flexibility and increasing stiffness. This creates a heavier, more bloated feeling in the lower body, especially around the knees, and makes walking harder, even with short distances. Next, there's the problem of unhealthy fats, particularly saturated fats and trans fats found in fast food items like burgers, fried chicken, or packaged snacks. These fats interfere with blood flow and increase inflammation throughout the body, including in the muscles. Inflammation slows the recovery process after physical exertion, leaving muscles feeling sore, tight, and unresponsive. According to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, diets high in processed and inflammatory foods are linked to lower muscle quality and slower walking speed in older adults. On top of that, processed foods often lack the vital nutrients muscles crave. You won't find much magnesium, potassium, calcium, or clean protein in a hot dog or frozen pizza. These nutrients help muscles contract, relax, and repair, functions especially critical in the legs. Without them, muscles weaken, bones lose density, and the body relies more on momentum and balance to stay upright, an increasingly risky strategy with age. There's also an indirect effect. Processed foods are energy draining. They might taste good at the moment, but the aftermath often includes fatigue, poor digestion, and increased inflammation, all factors that reduce motivation to move. Over time, this leads to a vicious cycle: weaker legs, less movement, more stiffness, greater fall risk. So how do you break the cycle? The solution doesn't require gourmet cooking or expensive groceries. It starts with replacing processed meats with whole, natural protein sources. A grilled chicken breast with some herbs, a piece of salmon with lemon, or a handful of lentils added to a soup can deliver the nutrients muscles need without the harmful additives. If cooking meat feels too much effort, canned beans, rinsed to reduce sodium, eggs or tofu are excellent, easy-to-prepare protein options. Even small changes can yield significant improvements. Food number 3, refined carbohydrates, a silent drain on energy and muscle control. When most people think of foods that weaken the body, they imagine junk food or sugary drinks. But few realize that some of the most common everyday staples, White bread, white rice, crackers, and cookies may subtly rob their legs of the strength and stability they need most. Refined carbohydrates are everywhere. They're in breakfast toast, lunchtime sandwiches, and evening desserts. They're comforting, easy to chew, and often inexpensive. But the comfort they provide is temporary. What they take from the body, especially as we age, can be far more lasting. Unlike whole grains, refined carbs are stripped of their outer layers, the bran and the germ, during processing. This removes nearly all the fiber, B vitamins, and essential minerals like magnesium and zinc. What remains is starch that digests rapidly and enters the bloodstream as sugar. The result? A sharp spike in blood sugar, followed by an equally steep drop. And that drop is where the trouble begins. Fluctuating blood sugar affects not just energy, but muscular performance. Muscles, especially in the legs, rely on a steady fuel stream to contract and support movement. But when energy levels crash, especially in older adults with less efficient glucose regulation, it becomes harder to lift the knees, stabilize during walking, or recover from a stumble. This pattern doesn't just lead to tiredness. Over time, these sugar surges and crashes promote chronic inflammation. A 2020 study in the journal Nutrients found a strong correlation between high intake of refined carbs and elevated inflammatory markers, such as CRP, C-reactive protein, in adults over 60. Inflammation contributes to muscle degradation and joint stiffness, affecting mobility and increasing fall risk. Moreover, refined carbs often displace healthier options on the plate. A white toast and jam breakfast leaves little room for protein or fiber. A dinner of instant noodles or white rice lacks the micronutrients your muscles crave for repair and coordination. This creates a nutritional gap that widens over time, often without noticeable symptoms, until everyday tasks like climbing stairs or getting out of a low chair become more challenging than they should be. Weight gain is another hidden cost. Unlike complex carbs, which digest slowly and promote fullness, refined carbs trigger more hunger, leading to overeating. Pressure on the knees and ankles intensifies as weight builds up, especially around the abdomen and hips. This speeds joint wear and tear and alters posture and balance, two key factors in preventing falls. But the good news is that swapping refined carbs for their whole grain counterparts can produce quick, noticeable results. Seniors who switch to steel-cut oats instead of sugary cereals or choose brown rice over white often report more stable energy and less bloating within weeks. Whole grains provide slow-releasing energy, support gut health through natural fiber, and contain vital compounds like selenium and magnesium, minerals directly linked to muscle performance and cramp prevention. For pasta lovers, options like buckwheat noodles or whole grain spaghetti offer texture and taste without the crash. Bread lovers don't need to give it up. Opt for whole grain or sprouted versions that maintain the original nutrients lost in refined varieties. An important tip: when reading labels, look for terms like 100% whole grain or whole wheat flour as the first ingredient. Be wary of terms like multigrain or wheat flour without the whole. They're often just refined carbs in disguise. This isn't about strict avoidance. It's about smarter substitutions. With a few intentional swaps, refined carbs must no longer chip away at muscle strength silently. Instead, meals become part of the solution, nourishing your legs with sustained energy, supporting better coordination, and keeping you strong enough to walk, balance, and move freely for years. Beyond muscles. How inflammation disrupts the brain-leg connection. It's easy to assume that weak legs mean weak muscles. But what if the real issue starts higher, inside the brain itself? As we age, the brain's and muscles connection becomes just as important as muscle strength. And surprisingly, the foods we eat directly affect how clear or confused that connection becomes. Movement begins in the brain. Before you take a single step, your brain must send precise signals through nerves down your spine and into your legs. These signals control balance, timing, and muscle contraction. It's a system that works beautifully until chronic inflammation clouds the process. Recent studies from the Journal of Neuroscience and Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience have revealed that high levels of systemic inflammation can damage the protective myelin sheath around nerves, slowing or distorting the signals from the brain to muscle. This means even if your muscles are still strong enough, the message telling them when and how to move arrives late, or not at all. You might notice it as hesitation before stepping off a curb, a slight wobble when standing up, or a delay in catching your balance after a misstep. These are not signs of weakness, but signs that communication is breaking down. What causes this type of inflammation? The foods discussed earlier, refined carbs, sugary drinks, and processed fats, are leading contributors. They flood the bloodstream with inflammatory molecules, which don't just impact joints but travel through the blood-brain barrier and affect the nervous system. On the other hand, anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, walnuts, and omega-3 rich fish, like salmon, can support neural health. These foods promote cleaner signaling pathways and may help slow age-related nerve deterioration. Supporting leg strength isn't just about building muscle, it's about restoring clarity in the system that controls them. When inflammation is reduced, the brain and legs work together again, smoother, faster, and safer. And for many seniors, that clarity translates to renewed confidence in every step. Simple meals, real strength, what to eat, instead for better legs. Changing what you eat doesn't mean turning your kitchen upside down. The most powerful shifts often come from simple, consistent choices. Instead of focusing on restriction, the goal here is a replacement, swapping foods that drain leg strength with those that build it, bite by bite. Let's start with breakfast, where sugary cereals or white toast are common. A warm bowl of steel-cut oats topped with sliced banana, chia seeds, and a sprinkle of cinnamon can provide a steadier, longer-lasting fuel. Unlike refined carbs, oats deliver complex carbohydrates, magnesium, and fiber, helping regulate blood sugar while supporting muscle contractions. This small switch can help you feel fuller, longer, and walk with more energy through the morning. Ditch the processed deli meats in sandwiches at lunch and try a protein-rich chickpea salad instead. Mix canned, rinsed chickpeas with chopped cucumber, olive oil, lemon, and a pinch of salt. Not only does this combo reduce inflammation, but it also gives your legs plant-based protein, potassium, and zinc, essential nutrients for tissue repair. Instead of reaching for white rice or frozen meals for dinner, try pairing grilled or baked salmon with roasted sweet potatoes and sautéed spinach. Salmon's omega-3 fats support muscles and brain signaling. Sweet potatoes replenish potassium lost daily, and spinach delivers magnesium to relax tired legs. It's a meal that promotes circulation, reduces cramp risk, and tastes rich without being heavy. Snacks are just as important. Swap cookies or crackers for a handful of walnuts and a few raspberries. This pairing delivers antioxidants, healthy fats, and natural sweetness that fights inflammation without spiking blood sugar. Hydration should be part of every meal. To encourage drinking throughout the day, keep a glass of water at the table and flavor it naturally with lemon, mint, or a slice of cucumber. Muscles need water to function correctly, and dehydration is a hidden cause of muscle stiffness, especially at night. The best part? These meals don't require perfection. Whether you try one swap a day or change an entire meal, each decision adds strength to your legs and confidence to your steps. Strong legs start in the kitchen, not the gym, built with care, not complexity. A stronger day. Building leg strength through daily habits. Small daily habits often matter more than significant changes. For seniors, a simple rhythm of hydration, movement, and balanced meals supports lasting leg strength. Begin the day with a glass of water and light stretching before bed. Breakfast could be oats with fruit, which are gentle on digestion and fiber-rich. Late morning, take a 10-minute walk or do a few chair exercises. These light movements activate circulation. At lunch, aim for lean protein and vegetables. Drink herbal tea or water with lemon. In the afternoon, choose a snack like a boiled egg or a few walnuts to stabilize energy. Light movements like ankle circles keep the legs engaged. Dinner might be salmon, sweet potatoes, and greens. End the day with more water to reduce nighttime cramping. Perfection isn't required, just consistency. Grocery smarts. How to shop for stronger legs. Smart shopping helps build strong legs. Focus on whole foods around the store's outer aisles. Limit packaged, salty, or sugary items from the center shelves. Choose 100% whole grain bread or pasta. Pick chicken, canned beans, or fish for simple proteins. Buy low-sodium canned goods and rinse before use. Skip sugary drinks. Choose water, mint tea, or lemon water. Read labels. Skip the first few ingredients if you don't recognize them. Every small change supports your strength. Reducing sugary drinks, processed foods, and refined carbs, and replacing them with nourishing alternatives helps your legs and life. You don't need to do everything at once. Just take one step. Drink more water, swap a snack, or take a short walk. Strong legs are built through care, not complication. If this helped you, share it with a friend. For more tips, watch our next video on the 5 best superfoods for seniors. Here's to stronger legs and a stronger you.